guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a fantastic day. Y'all, let's do some more super cute, super fun, super practical paper crafting. Stay tuned. And so here is what we're going to be making today, guys. So what we have is another notepad holder, but it's a notepad holder, again, with a twist. When you open it, you have your two notepads on the outer edges, but then in the middle, we have this wonderful pocket folder. So you're able, if you're using this, let's say you're making grocery list and you have some coupons, you're able to take those coupons, put them in. You've got your grocery list here. If you're just making quick notes and you have some receipts that you might want to tuck in to take with you, you can put those here. But you have wonderful places to make your notes, and then you have storage for those bits and pieces that you might need to hold on to. And so I'm going to open this one to show you that it's exactly the same as the other, except I have used different paper to make my pocket. And isn't that paper gorgeous? So when you open it up, it's double-sided paper, which makes the inside of our pocket folder just as cute as the outside. Y'all know what time it is? Time to make it. All right, guys, so to make our project, it really is going to be very simple and we won't have many materials that we need to use, but I will be using a project life card and it's a 3x4. So if you have some 3x4 cut aparts, you can certainly substitute that, or you can embellish yours however you like. And then we're going to have some chipboard pieces, and I'm using a medium weight chipboard. But again, if you don't have chipboard, use what you have to make your project. If you only have cereal boxes or boxes that are made out of the cereal box type material, double up on that and you can get a good consistency. But please don't stress over not having anything that I show in this video. Use what you have to make your project work. So then my first piece of chipboard measures 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4. And then I have two pieces that measure 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Then for my pocket, I have this beautiful piece of 8 1/4 by 8 1/4 decorative double-sided paper. And then for the jacket part of our project, I am using this wonderful lightweight paper that measures 10 1/4 by 11. And when I say lightweight, this is similar to the weight of a piece of copier paper or printer paper. It is that thin and that flexible. And then for my notepads, I am using two mini writing tablets that measure 3 1/2 by 5 inches. I get these from the Dollar Tree. You get 5 in a pack. And what I like about these is that each one has its own chipboard backer to it. So they all come connected, but you can separate them and have 5 pads from this one set. So on this project, I have decided that I'm going to use the green, and you can see that these are connected, but I can just tear away at the chipboard backer so that I now have two separate pads that each have their own chipboard backer. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to place down the chipboard, and we're going to be doing a wraparound on this project, meaning that we're not going to use a separate liner piece. So how we place the chipboard is going to be very important. So let me go ahead and take the tape from the back. And we will get this placed down. All right, so when we're placing down the chipboard pieces, you need to make sure that the 10 1/4 inch side is running this way and that the 11 inch side is running this way. And when we place down our chipboard, we're going to place it down so that we're coming in approximately an inch this way and an inch this way. Doesn't have to be exact. And then we'll take our second piece, which is the 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4 inch spine piece, and we're going to place that down using about 1/8 of an inch in spacing. Then I'll take my second piece that measures 3 3/4 by 5 1/4, and we can place that down. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, wherever we have an end corner, we're going to go ahead and just miter that corner. And then we'll come to these points here and we're going to notch out a V. So go to that corner piece there and notch out. Go to the corner piece here and notch. So your project at this point should look like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our tape runner, double stick tape, or you can use your glue on this part and place it down. Now while I'm applying adhesive to this, just a quick word about applying glue to put down chipboard pieces. If you are using a small piece, using glue to adhere that to paper is fine. But if you're using a larger piece of chipboard, adding glue to it and then adding it to paper might cause that chipboard to warp. The quality of your chipboard, the quality of the paper, all of that will play into whether or not you get warping. So normally when you see me using larger pieces of chipboard like this, you will see me use tape to apply it because I really don't want to risk having my board warp. So that's just a little tip if you find that you're having some warping. So I am just going to fold over these edges on 3 sides. Bring in my big old spatula and get that stuck. Now we're going to take this piece, and ordinarily you would see me just do a complete fold over and then trim away. But I'm actually going to trim away before we adhere this because I want to have it as crisp as I possibly can. So I am going to fold it over just like this. Then I'm going to make myself a mark on both sides. And then I can raise this. And what I'm going to do is I am going to take my finger blade. You can use scissors, you can use an X-Acto, whatever it is that you're using. And I am just going to trim in at a very slight angle inside of that trace mark. All right, so once we have made our trim, when we fold it, this is how it's going to look. So you can see that we have complete wraparound coverage. Now we're going to take our tape and we're simply going to place tape down so that we are hitting the chipboard. You really don't have to worry too much about getting it to the end. I am just making sure that I am getting some good chipboard coverage. And then we will deal with the edges in just a minute. But what I'm doing is I'm laying down my tape so that I really don't have any big gaping spaces. So I'm just going to use a smaller width to get in there. Then I am going to just use my big old spatula to get that stuck. And then I'm going to take that same tape that had the thinner width, and I am simply going to go around the edges and place it down. You can use tape, you can use glue, completely up to you on this part. Sometimes you'll see me tape, sometimes you'll see me glue, but the tape was right there and that is why I used it. So I am going to just place my final piece of tape. And now I'll just peel away the backers for all of my tape pieces. And we'll go ahead and get this part of our really cute project done. So now that everything is covered, we can take this, just grab it, fold it over, use your big old spatula to make sure everything is stuck, or your bone folder, whatever it is you happen to have. Then I'm going to go around my ends just to make sure everything is nice and crisp. And then I'll give some attention to the spine using the edge of my big old spatula to go in, get that spine defined. And now you can see I have a sweet little book jacket we're ready to make the folder. So my folder piece measures 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. We're going to score on one side at 2 1/2 and at 7 1/2. Then we're going to rotate it to the other 8 1/4 by 8 1/4 inch side, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 4. Then we're going to take it and turn it to the opposite of that same side, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 4. And so now we can fold and burnish all of our scores. And so what we have, we'll have a piece here with a wider set of panels and a piece here at the top with the narrow panels. That is our top piece. So what we're going to do here is where we have the intersection from this piece and this piece, we're going to cut right through that intersection, and that's how we'll miter it. So just go through and cut. Do the same thing on this side. So you'll have that intersection. Just go through and cut. Then when we have the fold mark here at the bottom, we'll have these two long strips. We're just going to make a V-cut, which is an angle cut on both sides of that score. So I'll just mark it here. So there's that score mark right there in the middle, and we'll just make a V-cut. And then we're going to have these two score marks right here. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to take our finger blade or X-Acto knife and go in between those, but we'll go in between starting at the score mark. And when we go in to cut, just put it on that mark and angle over as far as you want. And then we do the same thing on the other side. So your piece is going to look just like this. And so now we can use our glue to start gluing these flaps down. So I am going to go ahead and place some glue there. I'm going to go ahead and place some glue on these pieces here. And the reason why I did the score marks here is because I wanted a more finished edge and a more finished top to this project. So I am just going to lay that piece down. And now I'll take my glue. I'm going to go across the top. And I can take this piece and we can place it down. And then when we fold these pieces up, that is how we have the pockets for the folder. So all I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to take just a thin bead of glue, and I'm only placing that glue on the edge, and I'll place a thin bead right here, and I'll fold this and get it stuck. And we have ourselves a beautiful little pocket that we can now put in our jacket. So before I put the pocket in, I'm going to go ahead and apply my notepads. Now for me, guys, I am doing these as one and dones. So that means that I will be placing my glue on the back of this chipboard piece. And when I place it down, I'm placing it down so that the seam is actually going to be at the bottom. So I'll take this piece, and when I put it in, I want to make sure that I am not hitting that spine at all. And then once I have it in place, I'll go ahead and make sure that I have it stuck down. And then we'll take this piece And we're going to do the same thing. So I am just taking my glue, putting it on the chipboard back. Then when I place this piece down, I'm going to try to match it up, coming across with that piece. Make sure that you're not hitting your spine. Then I can use my bone folder, big old spatula, whatever it is I want to get that stuck. And now you can see that we have our two little notepads inside of our book jacket. Now we're going to take our spine. Make sure that when you have folded your spine, you have it nice and flat and squared like this. Then we're going to take our glue, and I'm just going to place down some glue. Then I'm just going to take my finger and spread that glue from end to end and edge to edge. So when I place this down, I'm going to be placing it down in the center of the spine, but I want to make sure that I have it as even coming across the top as I can. So I am just going to put that down. Just have a real quick look. And I like what I see. So now I'll take my bone folder and just go in and get that stuck. And it really is that simple for getting your little pocket inside of this book. So I want to place something on the front of my folder, and I have this Petals and Bloom sticker pack. I got it from Hobby Lobby. It was $6.99 originally. Got it when they had the Paper Studio on 50% off, so I paid $3.50 for over 190 stickers. So what I'm going to do is, I think I want this one that says Good Vibes Only. I'm going to place that right there. And then I'm just going to take a few of my Maggie Holmes gold stickers and just place them on the inside. And I have one that says awesome and one that says wonderful. And we're just going to place those right there. And so now we have the outside of our book that we need to decorate. I am going to keep it very simple. And I am going to take my tape runner, add some tape to the back, and I'm making sure that I get good edge-to-edge coverage because I would not want this coming up. This one says, you only live once. I am going to take it, place it down at a slight angle, and we have our third beautiful notepad with a folder set. So this is a great little carry-all because you can drop it in your purse, book bag, briefcase, backpack, whatever it is you want. And you have an instant way to make a note. And you also have a fun little way just to save bits and pieces that you might want to hold on to. And you know what's even better? You have something super cute and you made it. So I'm going to bring in the first two so that you can see what a beautiful set this makes. So if you happen to have an Etsy store, or let's say with the spring coming, there might be some spring craft fairs in the future, outdoors, where you can set up a booth or a table or a tent, these present very well. These happy colors would certainly draw the eye to your table. Cool. So guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this stinking cute, super practical little project. And if you have, please hit the like button. If you would like to leave me a comment below, I welcome all positive comments that are designed to help encourage and uplift this crafting community. So if you have a positive comment that you'd like to share, please leave it in the comment section below. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join my wonderful online crafting family. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.